crew, this is Captain's Log. Date, Earth time 1990s. Location, Pacific Ocean, Northern Waters, West Coast. Storm conditions. Subject, lost souls. The storm has already taken lives before it ever found us. We depart Steveston under pressure. Weather building fast, reports coming in from other boats. Fishermen lost, gear destroyed. The system moved with intent, tracking north along the coast, as if it had chosen a line to follow. We ran with it. For days we struggled along the inside, then farther north. Sea did not ease. Wind stayed hard on the beam. Sleep came in fragments. The crew worked, rested, worked again. The storm never fully let us go. It stayed close, just far enough to remain a threat. By the time we reached Port Hardy, it was after midnight. The harbor offered shelter, but the storm still raged outside. Wind howled through rigging. Rain struck metal like thrown gravel. We secured the vessel and stood down. Exhaustion finally caught up with me. I went to my bunk. That is when Carrie appeared, not as a dream, not as memory, as presence. I had not thought of him in decades. We were teenagers when he passed. I was now in my 40s, yet there he stood, unchanged, familiar immediately. The shock of seeing him was enough to tear me awake. I sat up, heart racing, suddenly afraid to sleep. I spoke to a deckhand from my village, asked him if he knew Carrie. He didn't. He was too young. That alone told me how long Carrie had been wandering. I lay back down. The second time Carrie appeared, he spoke. "Jordan, don't wake up." Fear took over. I woke again, jumped from my bunk, and told the deckhand plainly, "Carrie is here." I told him I believed I could help, and I asked him to watch over me, to wake me if something went wrong. I returned to my bunk a third time. 3 matters. This time Carrie was waiting. "Jordan, don't wake up," he said again. "You're the only one I can talk to." I stayed. What followed was not a dream, but a passage. Carrie showed me his father standing atop his seiner, steering while towing the net, working, focused, alive. "I try to talk to him all the time," Carrie said. "He can't hear me. Why can you?" I told him the truth. I told him I could see and hear him because I am Quaqua. And because the conditions were right. The storm, the sea, the hour, the energy that opens doors when land and water are both unsettled. Carrie was confused. Denial clung to him. I could feel him slipping away again, retreating back into wandering. I knew then that hesitation would lose him, so I spoke plainly. I told him he was no longer alive. At first he resisted, then memory returned, the voices that would not stop, pressure, the moment his life ended. As he remembered, the scars appeared, sudden, shocking, real. It took everything I had to remain present. Carrie touched the scars, understanding forming slowly, the weight of years pressed into seconds, and then the light appeared, not harsh, not sudden, patient. Loved ones waited there, among them his older brother, gone long before either of us were ready. I knew immediately who had come for him. I told Carrie it was time to stop wandering. I told him his brother was there to take him home. He looked toward the light in wonder, then back at me. "Thank you, Jordan," he said, and then he went. I woke instantly, tears already running down my face. Relief, gratitude, Completion. Outside, the storm continued, but it no longer pressed against the hull the same way. Some encounters do not leave damage. They leave balance. That night reminded me that being Guagua is not always a burden. Sometimes it is a gift. Sometimes it is the only reason a soul stops wandering. We departed Port Hardy not long after. The storm eventually moved on. The sea returned to itself, but I did not. Some harbors shelter the living, some shelter the dead, and some exist only to bring the two together once before letting both go. If this story reached you, it was meant to. Share it with someone who still listens to the sea. Leave a comment below if you've known a harbor that felt watch. And if you want to support these voyages and the spirits behind them, you can find our work at Ask Raven Native Art on Etsy, or send a message in a bottle to ghostboatadventures@gmail.com. Your witness keeps the log alive. Through tilt and wave, to fall and shout, Captain Jordan and his crew of ghosts over and out.